Hello, welcome to me. It's another session of motivating, educating, and engaging. This session really is about us as a people, us as, families, as individuals, to talk about the things that impact on us so that we can be better and we can support each other better. It's Black History Month, and there's so many things to talk about. Today, I just want to talk about being intentional. And the reason why I'm looking at being intentional is that we live in a society whereby sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, we expect things just to happen. So are you one of them? This is a point for reflection. Do you expect things just to happen? Do you think things can just fall into your lap? Do you think that people need to do things for you? Yes, there's a time and a place for all that. But today, I want to lay emphasis on the need to be intentional. You can be intentional about life. You can be intentional about your personal growth. You can be intentional about being a good parent, a good mother, a good father to your children. You can be intentional about what you want to do in the next few months, what you want to do in the next 1 year. So I just want to give us a few pointers to what does it mean to be intentional. The first one I want to say is that we need to be deliberate. Why? Because being intentional is about making sure that change happens. It's about, yes, some things do need to change, but we need to be deliberate about it. And that means that you've got to say, you know what? This is what happened in the summer. This was what happened a few months ago. But right now, I want to make sure that I'm better at what I'm doing. I want to be a better employer. I want to be a better employer. I want to be a better volunteer. Be deliberate. Don't just say, oh, yeah, you got the training, you got the skills, but you can get all that and not just do it. But you've got to be deliberate. You've got to say, I'm going to do it. That is being intentional. You need to be clear about what results you want. There needs to be clarity. For example, you might say, oh, I'm going back to school. I want to be a nurse. I want to be trained to work in the community as a nurse. But then what results would you want from that? Does that mean that if you go back to school now, what kind of results? Do you want to get a merit? Do you want to get the highest level that you can achieve in terms of your studies? Do you want to make sure that you finish on a high and then you move on to the next level? That is being clear. You want a result, but what kind of result? It can be a bad result, it can be a good result. So you need to be clear. This is what I want to do, this is why I want to do it, and this is what I expect from it. Because if you don't have an expectation, you're not going to get it. So be clear. If it's about your children, what do you want to do? They're going back to, they're back at school now. So what is your result of being a good parent to them? You want to make sure that your children be the best they can, even with their 11 plus exams, or going to secondary school, or getting ready to choose schools, because this is that period already whereby parents are taking their children from in year 6 to look at schools. Where do you want your children to be? What do you want them to achieve? What is the result? You need to be clear. It's not about everybody saying something and then you're just going with the flow. Be deliberate, be clear. And you also need to be purposeful with your time. Some time ago, with my videos, I shared the issue of time management. Black people's time. The clock is ticking. These are very important. You need to be purposeful. How do you want to spend your 24 hours? What do you want to do with certain issues? What do you want to do as a mother? What do you want to do as a father? What do you want to do as a career maker? What do you want to do in terms of your community or as a worker? What do you want to do? So, and because you know that you need to be purposeful with your time, it's about your plans as well. Look at them, read them, share with other people, and think about, this is what we're doing. This is why we're doing it. So let's be purposeful with our time. I'm saying the same thing to me because it's a new season. We're now in the autumn. It's about, what does the end of the year have for each and every one of us? Let's be purposeful. What do we want to achieve before the end of 2021? Things happen. We're not denying that. But there's still hope. Let's be purposeful. And finally, I want us to say we need to be mindful about our relationships. What's important to you in terms of your relationships? Be mindful of them. because it's what you put in is what you get out. So if you're intentional about wanting to make sure you keep your home, you work with your children, you work with your partner, your spouse, be mindful. What relationships are important? What relationships are not important? What can you do away with? What do you need to hold on to? But be mindful of them. That means be aware of how you're working with your children. How do you build your relationships with them? What are you doing, especially when you're coming from other communities whereby you know you have your own traditional way of looking at things, and our children have come up with their way of doing things. How do we work with them so that we can get the best for them and we can be at peace for ourselves? Be mindful of your relationships. Be mindful of the people you work with colleagues. What do you want to get out of it so that you don't end up being angry, being frustrated, because there are a lot of people out there, trust me, they're ready to trip you up. But you need to think about, who am I working with? What am I doing? So it's about being intentional. It's not about letting other people just impose on you. It's about you doing it for yourself, you wanting to get the best out of life. And why am I saying this? I want to end on this note, because being intentional is making sure you get things done. And when you get things done about your personal growth, your families, your life, your relationships, I tell you, you become a better and confident person. Thank you for watching me. I'm looking forward to seeing you next time on me. And please don't forget to subscribe. I have my book out now, Living Life in a Foreign Land, is available. Order your copy now. Thank you.